Another thing you're going to need that you probably should have, even if cyber liability insurance or data breach insurance was not part of the questions, you would probably still want a race matrix. Race matrix, very useful tools for defining and clarifying roles and responsibilities of individuals or teams in regard to specific projects or events. And RACE is just responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. It's a chart that is going to lay out, these are the people that have to do these things, and these people know they have to do these things. And you've probably seen some form or variation of a RACE matrix before, but didn't realize, it had a formal name. Usually you've probably seen these as call trees or incident response or incident communication plans. For our purposes today, though, we're just going to think of them as a RACE matrix because they can be a tool that can be used in a lot of locations, for a lot of scenarios, a lot of reasons. And we're just going to be thinking about it today in the use case of incident management processes. It can provide, it's going to provide that clarity, accountability, efficient utilization, and allocation of resources during your response to an incident. A well thought out and planned RACE matrix is going to provide a lot of benefits. First, it helps you set up accountability. It's going to ensure that there's clear accountability for different aspects of cybersecurity. And that helps avoid confusions or gaps in responsibilities, making sure that, necessary tasks are assigned and completed by responsible individuals or teams. This is absolutely wonderful with clients. I recommend that you get to a point where you can start doing these with clients because small and medium business clients for MSPs are absolutely notorious for thinking, oh, I've hired this MSP. They are responsible for the computer stuff. Therefore, they are responsible for anything and everything that could possibly be involving or adjacent to computers. Whenever that is not what your contract or your managed services agreement says. Having a well-established RACE matrix can kind of puts a little bit of heat on them to make them fully understand and grasp what the responsibilities are, what their responsibilities are. They need to know that whenever things go sideways because of an actual incident, that they're going to have to change up their business responsibilities. They're going to have to reassign, individuals on their team to be a liaison with you. That's now their job while the incident is ongoing. They're going to have to assign somebody to be a liaison for the insurance company. They need to define, who's going to be responsible for, going out and buying lunch for everybody while we're trying to get a handle on an incident. Sounds like, it's boring things whenever you're sitting there and thinking about it and trying to planning out ahead of time. But it's absolutely things that are going to happen during an incident. And I've said it multiple times already today, but you do not want to have to figure these things out during the middle of an emergency. It can also, it helps facilitate decision-making as well whenever you have a good matrix. If you're able to get those relevant stakeholders in your business clients, get them involved in that consultation process, it helps, promote informed decision-making. And also cybersecurity, it benefits from diverse perspectives and expertise. And it can give you more effective strategies and controls and make you better prepared for whenever, something happens. Everybody knows this is what I need to do. These are the people I need to call. These are the documents and the data that I need to prepare. And of course, you are likely, and your client is probably very likely to be operating under limited resources whenever responding to an incident. And race matrix, you've got it lined up ahead of time and it's done. It helps you make sure that your resources you do have available are appropriately allocated. By making sure that everything is clearly defined, that who was responsible for what task. And that's going to make sure that your resources, your budgets, your personnel, and the tools that you're going to need to respond to a situation, that they're in the right areas and they're optimizing their effectiveness and efficiency, so that you're not bringing to bear resources that don't need to be used for an engagement. And that can also be useful for illustrating to the clients exactly how many resources are going to have to be brought in response to an incident. And that's one of the challenges you always have with clients, is justification of cost. And this is one way of kind of sitting down and having that conversation and saying, yeah, this is going to be an absolute headache. This is going to be a lot of effort. It's going to cost quite a bit of man hours and money to deal with. So it's not a giant surprise. And probably more important for our discussion today around cyber liability insurance, a race matrix helps establish communication and coordination. It's going to identify who needs to be informed about security-related activities, who needs to be called at the state level, at the municipal level. And it makes sure that everyone that's going to be involved in the process has access to the necessary information to fulfill their roles and responsibilities, but also to be able to tell that if a person or an individual is not available, that those responsibilities and activities still need to be carried out, and they need to fall to they need to be handled by the fallback individual. And having all of this stuff lined up and done beforehand, this is the difference in being able to respond to an incident in minutes versus hours. Also, this can help out with regards to compliance and risk management. A race matrix is going to aid in enforcing compliance and security policies and procedures. If you're going to clearly assign out these responsibilities and accountabilities, it becomes easier to identify and address compliance gaps or risks.